Yo, I love Spider-Man. He's easily one of my favorite superheroes. I loved him growing up as a kid. I love the old movies. I love the new movies, like especially this one. I like the games and I like the cartoons. Oh, you thought I meant this one? The one that everyone seemingly unanimously has agreed upon is the superior animated series? No. I'm talking about this one. It may not be perfect, but it has wabi-sabi. Alright, I'm sorry. I know I'm like 4 months late to make that joke, but hey, you gotta let the unks have their fun too, you know? Anyways, this is by no means any hate towards the peak that is Spectacular Spider-Man. I would still pay stupendous amounts of money just at the chance of seeing a reboot for this show, bro. Like, Spectacular Spider-Man. That's my jam. And hey, even the fact that they gave him that 10 out of 10 cameo in Across the Spider-Verse just gives me even more hope that they might eventually bring it back. But with that being said, for me personally, in my opinion, I actually low-key kinda like high-key prefer Ultimate Spider-Man a little bit more, you know? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I watched Ultimate Spider-Man before I watched Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know. All I know is that I just love this show so much, even if it's not comic book accurate or lore accurate or it's dragged out or the jokes are corny. I just enjoy the show for what it is. The episodes are amazing and we get animated character interactions that we might never see animated or in the Marvel Cinematic Universe ever again. Like bro, just to name a few, we have Nova, Iron Fist, Cloak and Dagger, Squirrel Girl, Moon Knight, Taskmaster, Wolverine, Thor, Loki, White Tiger, Doctor Doom, Kraven the Hunter, Human Torch, Madam Web, Dracula, Galactus, Miles Morales, before we head into the Spider-Verse, and Deadpool. Almost every single Marvel character that you can think of is in this show and interacting with my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, all across a 4-season long Disney XD airing TV show. Matter of fact, I bet if you drop some random niche Marvel character in the comments, there is like a 50% chance that he's probably in this show. It's like how Dragon Ball games be putting anyone in their roster. How can you hate? How? Answer me. It's like a bunch of fan service written into like a semi-cohesive and overall enjoyable story with decent animation and peaks. Some of these characters might never see television or cinema ever again, and all their fans can pray for is that they get added into Marvel Rivals and get a nice summer skin. Guang, if you're listening, please put Nova in Marvel Rivals. Please. I apologize for my outburst. Anyways, I wanted to make this video to talk about some of my favorite moments and episodes from this series and hopefully convert some Ultimate Spider-Man haters into Ultimate Spider-Man glazers in the process. Since Marvel Rivals has finally added the Go Deadpool to their game, I've decided to cover the Ultimate Deadpool episode. It starts off with Spidey just, you know, flinging through the city whilst it's raining. With the amount of rain, you'd think it was a wet Tuesday night in Stoke. As he's doing his usual fourth wall breaking, the original fourth wall breaker pulls up and just takes over the intro. Deadpool is putting straight belt to ass on these ninjas in Deadpool fashion. Lex Sweep, sidekick, Bakio, and finishes it off with a wedgie. He explains that he's looking for Taskmaster, and we return to Peter, who's pulling up to his training with S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't know why, but just seeing him with this team just means something to me. I love Nova, I love Iron Fist, I love Luke Cage, and I especially love White Tiger. 10-year-old me had the biggest crush on her. They had no reason to make her such a baddie. If you look like this, be sure to follow me on IG. I'm actually looking for a wife right now. After taking a shower, he returns to the meeting table to see Deadpool telling war stories to the rest of the team. Peter is obviously confused because bro just came in, stole all his aura, and had the entire team laughing and smacking their bellies. And you know what they say about funny people? If you can make a girl laugh and giggle, you can make her ass clap and jiggle. Don't shoot the messenger. Turns out Deadpool used to actually be a part of Team S.H.I.E.L.D. but decided to leave because he wanted more freedom. He's little broing the hell out of Peter to the point that he can even pop up in his head and interrupt his whole fourth wall breaking gimmick. He tells the gang he's just taking some information so he can catch someone called Agent McGuffin before dipping out. Peter says he wants to join Deadpool on his mission, so they hop in his private jet. Well, it's actually just something he stole from Tony Stark because he felt like it. Peter is obviously a little bit jealous of Deadpool when Deadpool straight up tells him to ditch Fury and start doing solo missions since he can do whatever he wants and get paid. And I'm not gonna lie, this would have got me for sure. You gotta remember, Peter is a broke bum. He wouldn't even be able to afford a Five Guys meal in today's economy. Well, to be fair, I'm still paying off my last meal. They get pulled up on by a couple of lackeys, so DP ejects them from the jet as they have a cool mid-air fighting sequence. They begin taking out their jetpacks, slowly cutting down their numbers, and their chemistry is off the charts. It reminds me of when Alan and Omni-Man decided to team up in season 3 against the Viltrumites. Deadpool can even see Spider-Man's Spidey sense. The goons call in a homing missile, but luckily Deadpool barely manages to destroy it before he pulls out a parachute. Bro had no way of knowing whether Peter would survive this, by the way. Yo, this might be the most dickhead version of Deadpool. Even his voice is annoying. He kind of sounds like annoying Orange. If you know, you know. They go over the plan when DP says that he's going to off Agent MacGuffin. When Spidey realizes this man is not a superhero, he runs off, weaves all the bullets, two pieces the stormtroopers before almost giving this man a skin fade when Peter takes his sword and tells him not to kill anyone. So now we just get a bunch of attempts of Deadpool trying to pack up the NPCs while Spider-Man is saving them. He's a Hall of Fame rage bearer. Taskmaster finally pulls up, and just for reference, Taskmaster put belt to ass on Peter like a season ago, so he isn't just some like C-tier bum. He can copy anyone's technique after seeing it only once. He has a built-in Sharingan. So this same Taskmaster was shivering in his timbers at the mere mention of Deadpool's name. They begin to squabble, and Deadpool is genuinely just toying with Taskmaster, leaving him face down ass up after the first exchange of blows. Spidey is obviously flabbergasted, but it turns out that Deadpool's fighting style is so chaotic and unconventional that Taskmaster is unable to get a read on him. They beat him and secure the files, so Peter tries to call S.H.I.E.L.D. to say they completed the mission when Deadpool comes clean and says that there is no Agent MacGuffin and he just needed the files for a job he was contracted under. Anyways, this was inevitable from the start, so let the squabble commence. Deadpool plants a bomb on him before going in with a slash when Spidey just snatches his sword. And honestly, I would love to see an all-out fight between these two, but it was always gonna be a Looney Tunes ass fight, bro. They even unlocked chakra control so they could run on water. I don't know if you guys have read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, but this fight is genuinely almost no different than when Kenjaku and Takaba had their fight, just participating in a bunch of bullshit. Spidey is technically considered the winner using a Toon Force knockout, so Deadpool decides to retreat, giving him the W. In this version, Deadpool is kinda just like a Spider-Man version that didn't have Uncle Ben to guide him. Nick Fury gotta stop recruiting these mentally unstable kids of the street, man. He's always the root cause of the issues. It reminds me of how 90% of conflict in early Ninjago is all Sensei Wu's fault somehow.
Together, the ninja will battle evil menaces like Wu's brother, Wu's student, people who want revenge on Wu, and all sorts of super dangerous enemies Wu knew were coming. Right on time. But never bothered to mention.
Anyway, since the announcement of Doomsday, I thought it would be fun to look at a Dr. Doom variant of Ultimate Spider-Man. So I had my homie Yayo come onto the channel so he can cover this part for you guys.
Hey, today's a good day, bro. I get to talk about Spider-Man, and I'm on a Senshii video. Mama made it. This episode starts off with Peter getting his heart broken because Nova stole his girl. Look at how MJ's looking at dude. I ain't gonna lie, Peter, you gonna have to take that shit to the chin. She's lost. He starts complaining about why Nova's even sitting at the table. He's not even cool with them. MJ looks at him mad as hell. Nova looks over and gives what Senshii would call a cheeky ass smile. They start beefing in the hallway, and then the teacher sees them and gives them detention. But it turns out the teacher was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and they just had a mission they needed to do. As soon as they get on the ship, they already trying to squabble. But then my go Nick Fury comes out the cut and tells those little niggas to pipe down. They came in for a little bit of training, and then they were supposed to capture one of like the easy villains. But you know how Nova and Spider-Man are beefing? They're like, bro, I can capture whoever I need to capture. So they start looking through their database, and Spider-Man sees this one weak dude, and he's like, Nova, you can handle this dude, right? And Nova's like, bro, stop playing with my name. I can handle number one. Do you guys know who number one is? Number one is one of the most menacing villains of all time. That's why he's number one. Even today in our world, we're making a movie about him right this instant. And that is Victor Werner Von Doom. See, we gotta stop playing with this dude. He got Vaughn in his name. That should say enough. And since Spidey and Nova are just beefing and trying to one-up each other, they don't even ask Nick Fury. They just rush to the plane, steal it, and try to go capture Doom. When they get to the island, bombs start going off all around the plane. It turns out there are missiles, so Nova goes out and starts destroying them all. And hey, if we keep in score, that's 1-0 Nova. The rest of the team gets out the plane, and they start destroying the robots that are shooting the missiles. But right after they finished that, the demon finally showed himself.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Doom didn't waste a single second. He went straight to attacking. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect him to stand a single chance. Bro, this is episode 3 of season 1. They're a new team. Ain't no way you're taking down Doom. But then Nova flies in and tries to attack him solo. It didn't really do nothing. But then Nova and Spider-Man did the weakest two-man, and somehow Doom is done? Nah, I don't believe this. Something fishy is going on. Nova starts geeking. He's happy. He starts doing his little dance. He's like, we just beat Doom. Or he just beat Doom in his head. And then he looks over, and then he sees Spider-Man has Doom in the ship already, and he's gonna go take credit. I ain't gonna lie, Spidey, that's grimy as hell. He takes off, and Nova starts genuinely tweaking. And then Spider-Man hit the Easter egg celebration, bro. And if you guys remember, before they left, they didn't ask Nick Fury for permission. So when Spider-Man brought back Dr. Doom, Nick Fury absolutely lost it. And I completely understand. Why the hell would you bring the top up into your crib? Nick Fury pulls out his gun, and Dr. Doom easily breaks out the webs. See, I knew something fishy was going on. We find out this Dr. Doom is just a robot, and he was just playing along so he can find the ship. And then he turns into, what do they call it, a babushka doll? And then each one of them start to get ready to wreak havoc on the ship. And I ain't gonna lie, if I was a regular worker on this ship, I'm finding myself the nearest parachute and jumping off. I am not dealing with that bullshit. The mini Doom attacks first, and then every security guard starts firing, but it's doing no damage because of the bubble. The Doom split up so they can cause the most damage on the ship. And now it's up to the team that caused the problem to fix the problem. At first, they start fighting each Doom one by one by themselves. You know, Spider-Man gets this one, Iron Fist gets that one, that kind of thing. And in the middle of Spider-Man fighting his Doom, Mary Jane calls his phone and she's like, "Oh my God, where's Max at? Can I talk to Max?" And this made me realize Spider-Man and Nova were never at fault. It was all this bitch. My fault. I ain't even gonna call her a bitch. It was all Mary Jane's fault. And to be honest, I never liked Mary Jane from any movie. Maybe Zendaya, because I love me some Zendaya, man. I can't even hate. But I hated Mary Jane in Tobey Maguire's movie. One of the Dooms blew up the side of the ship, and that damage made one of the engines blow out, which caused the ship to start falling. And something this serious, this is where they're like, okay, bro, let's stop this beef, and let's just work together before this shit destroys the city. Spidey tells Nova to go fly out and carry the plane since he's the only one that can do that. At first, Nova was being hard-headed. He didn't want to listen to him. But then he realized what was happening is kind of crazy, so he had to lock in. The rest of the team handled the other Dooms, and there was only one guy left, the original big one. He was walking through all the fire with his little shield looking menacing. Then side character 36 got hit with some mean shit. His main goal was this big generator right here, and right when he went to go blow it up, Nova came flying in and took the energy blast straight to the chest. And doing that, he realized he was able to absorb energy. Right after that, the team started jumping Doom. Spider-Man pulls him up with his webs, and then White Tiger cuts it, making him fall right back to the floor. Power Man picks him up and holds him, and then Iron Fist hits him with the meanest punch in the gut. Then Spidey takes his head and does his little dance. That's all I got for y'all today. I'm gonna give the rest back to Senshii.
Hey, appreciate you for putting up. Make sure you check him out and drop him a sub. But yeah, that's it from me. YouTube thinks you like this video on screen next, so check it out. Make sure you drop a sub on both this channel and my main channel. And remember, when we hit 10k subs on here, I'll drop that Avatar video. Peace.